Hi, this is James with Gamers Helping Gamers. Today we're going to talk about making your own GW washes. While everybody loves a good GW wash, for me the closest retailer to buy these things is 65 miles away. So I have to drive, which costs me $4, buy the bottle of wash, which is $4, and then drive back, which is $4 more. So this in turn costs me a minimum of $12 plus tax and all that thing. Well, hey, dumbass, buy the stuff online, save yourself a little money. So then instead of me paying $4, I end up paying $8. Well, over time I use a lot of washes. Now I'm a big supporter of Games Workshop. I go to my local comic book shop and that's where I have to get all my stuff, which again, once local for me is 68 miles away. So it's a lot of work for me to get to go. So when I do go, I buy a lot of stuff. And I like to, like you, I like to be able to stretch my dimes and pennies as much as possible, be able to buy as many things as I possibly can. So I went to do a lot of research online and try to find out about washes and being able to make my own. And I had a lot more difficult time in doing it than I thought I would, since of course everybody that I ask is like, oh, there's recipes all over the internet. Yeah, but 90% of them are used for paint that was done 3 sets ago that they don't make anymore. So I couldn't find the right combinations of paints. Other guys would give me the right colors of paints, but in turn the actual recipe itself was missing things. Well, it's just, you know, until you get the right consistency or the right texture. If I've never made it before, genius, I don't know the right texture. So how do I do it? So I kept researching, I kept asking people, went to a bunch of different websites and groups until I finally found a couple of ideas that I thought would work. So in order to get a nice earth shade wash, what I did was I started out with a base coat paint of Rhinox hide, which I bought at my comic book shop yesterday. I take this and I emptied it into a bottle like this, which you can get these at a local store such as Walmart and their health and beauty aid departments for around 50 cents. It's a 3-ounce bottle. And the only thing you have to do is then you take that pot of paint, and you empty it into the bottle. Now sure, it's not too easy to do. It gets kind of annoying and it's a little tedious, but if you cut the cap off and then you can pour it in there and go off and do something and come back, it makes it a little easier and it's time consuming. Once you get the paint out, then you take and you get a bottle of distilled water, which this is a jug, but I got this at my local Walmart for 88 cents. So I'll be able to make washes until the end of time. Filled it up and poured it back off into this bottle again. We got you so far? Anybody confused? Still got it? You sure? Positive. Okay, we'll move on. So now then, you've emptied the paint into the bottle, you filled it back up with water, you put the cap back on, making sure it's secured. We don't want any messes in the wife's house. They get kind of messed when you fling paint on the walls. Done it. She wasn't too happy. So you put the lid back on it, shake it vigorously, or roughly, vigorously is very fast. Shake it and pour it back in there. Do this 5 times. So right now, basically, this bottle has 6 complete pods of paint and water. 1 pot of paint, 5 pods of water. 5 plus 1 makes 6. Now then, we take our Palmolive dishwashing liquid. Now you can use whatever dishwashing liquid you buy, because you know I've found this out over time. Simple things that we have in America you may not have in your weird foreign countries where they drive on the opposite sides of the street and their government actually does do good things. It's weird. But my wife buys this once again at Walmart, and I hope everyone has a Walmart. If you don't have a Walmart, something is wrong with you. Take our dishwashing liquid. I love to use a medicine dropper for mixing and thinning paints, because when I say drops, I like to squeeze it and a little drop falls out. Because I have taken and tried to squirt this stuff and then get a crap load of in there and it kind of runs it. Now you're wondering, why do we use the dishwashing liquid? Because I said so, that's why. No. Soap does water has what's called surface tension. You can take a glass and fill it all the way up to water, and then when you get to the top, you notice how you get this cool little dome effect. That's because the surface tension of the water is so great that it'll hold itself together. Now then you can take your medicine dropper. This is science, kids. Science. You can take a medicine dropper full of dishwashing liquid and simply drop it on top of it. The soap would destroy the surface tension of the water and making the excess water run completely off the glass. This, for us model people, already I was going to use it for us. This model people means that when we add this to the wash, that it thins the surface tension of the water, allowing it to go deeper into the crevices of the model. So you can get off down deep in there really easy. Now then, the more water and the more dishwashing liquid you add means the greater chance of getting into the depth that you wish to get it into. Now then, I started out with 1 pot of paint, 5 pods of water. I got big hands. 5 pods of water and 6 drops, because 5 plus 1 equals 6, so 1 drop per pod. And that gave me the ability to make my wash. Now then, here's a color sample. This is Earthshade from GW. Now then, this is the same wash from Rhinoxide. Looks almost identical. Now then, I tried it a couple different ways using different methods. As you can see, this one's really dark. It's the same color paint. The only difference is instead of putting 5 pods of water, I put 4. So, as you can see, the bottom blob is 4 pods of water, and the top one is 5. And then, of course, the sides are nothing because I didn't do anything on there. And as you can see, there's a little mixture here where you can see the darkness versus the light, which is 4.5 pods versus 5. 4.5 on the left, 5 on the right. So just doing small, minute changes on your own can affect the consistency and thickness of the wash. So give it yourself a try. I mean, you can do it with other colors as well. I haven't had the money and the empty bottles to experiment with other shades. So far, I've got one flesh tone that I'm working with that I haven't got to experiment with, because I'm not going to talk about that one. I've done Earthshade, and I've done my own Nala oil, which is basically black, and the same process gives you a nice black wash. Now then, if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, ideas, suggestions, or anything that you might want or need us to try to do a video on, please let us know. Send us a message, like us on Facebook to follow us, and we will try to get your video done so that we can help you with whatever problems you are. So until next time, this is James with Gamers Helping Gamers, and we'll see you at the place. If you liked the video you just saw, please like us on Facebook at Gamers Helping Gamers. And for every like we get, Matt Ward dives just a little more inside. We love you, Matt. Not really.